than before. Through those open doors, where I am now. Where I am now. In a special place. I'll tell you all the place. Where I am now. It's now time for the most talked about radio show in the whole wide world. That's FYI Radio Show with your host, Miss Yolanda, the Lady Hinton. I'm Everette, the co-host. The music that you hear in the background is none other than Miss Yolanda, the Lady Hinton, Where I Am Now. Where I am now. And if you'd like to see us at WGPL 1350 Studio or WMVA 88.9 FM Studio, all you have to do is go to Edward Everett's Facebook page, Miss Yolanda, the Lady Hinton Facebook page, and guess what? You can see us live right here in the studio. And if you want to hear us all over the world, all you have to do is go to 1400 AM, 1350am.com, click and listen live. And now I want to introduce to some and present to others the host of the most talked about radio show in the whole wide world, Miss Yolanda, the Lady Hinton, and a pleasant good morning to you.
Good morning, Mr. E. It's a beautiful day in the neighborhood.
Would you, could you, will you be my neighbor?
Let's welcome our neighbors. Let's welcome WGPL 1350 AM listeners.
Peace, 95.3 FM, WGPPCE 1400 AM, and WMVA 88.9 FM. Good morning.
Facebook Live is on and popping. Let's also welcome Twitter, LinkedIn, YouTube, and Instagram. Make sure you like, share, comment, and subscribe. We promise we'll shout you out.
Like, share, comment, and subscribe.
Like, share, comment, subscribe. Our newest channel is FYI Radio Show host Yolanda Hinton. You can always go to Crystal Records 1, CRISTO Records 1. Like, share, comment, subscribe, and we promise before it's over, we'll shout you out.
Shout out.
Miss D.
Yeah.
What day is it today?
Today is home day.
It was a nice spring, warm,
Spring is in the air.
beautiful, pollen-filled
Music
hot
everywhere.
day. I tell you what, Mr. E, it's out here. The pollen is here. Spring is in the air. It's just marvelous. A beautiful time God has given us. And you say above dirt.
Above dirt.
I tell you
Another day above dirt.
we want to welcome all you all
Yeah.
on today. It is hump the day, the Humpty Dumpty day. It's the middle of the week. You should be up and popping.
Up and popping, ready to go.
Ready to go and ready to hear what we got to talk about today on FYI's Wednesday segment, What Under the Hat. We're going to be talking about the latest breaking news stories.
Yeah.
I tell you what, it's a lot going on. I don't know where to start.
You know, Miss Hinton, there's a whole lot of stuff going on around the world, around in political, around the world, doing everything. I found out this year, you got to tell this, I'm going to drop this down. You got till May to get your license with the passport on it. This May, so that you can travel on an airline. You got till May to get it done.
Okay, so are you telling us that we have to go down to DMV and get a new license?
Get a new license, identification. If you plan on traveling on an airplane, you got to get the new license and the identification with that little special code on it by May, or you're going to have to use your passport.
Miss Steve, thank you for telling me that and telling us all that, because, hey, we better get that done fast, quick, in a hurry. It's almost April.
That's right. If you go down to the airport, you know, if anybody going to fly, I'm planning on flying. So I'm going out there and I'm going to get my information done, my driver's license, so I'll be qualified to go.
Absolutely. Mr. E, there's a lot of protests. There's a lot of things going on in the country, in the world, but also in the 757.
Well, speaking on a lot of protests, Miss Hinton, I was driving on Saturday. And by me driving on Saturday, guess what I saw?
You saw a protest.
I
or
saw
two.
protesting going on Military Highway right in front of the Tesla dealership.
Whoa.
Right in front of the Tesla showroom. They was out there, blow your horns, picketing and saying all manners of words against this fella by the name of Elon Musk.
It says protesters gather outside Tesla showrooms and dealerships to denounce Elon Musk and Doge. Hundreds of protesters gathered outside the Tesla showroom in the meatpacking district of Manhattan to take Tesla take down movement.
That's right. For weeks now, protests have been organized by groups, including People Over Profits and Disruption Project, to denounce Tesla CEO Elon Musk and his involvement in the federal government.
Many of the protesters said they are targeting the business that made Musk the richest man in the world. Forbes estimates his net worth, Mr. E, to be under $200 billion.
Wow. And if you can go ahead to continue to protest Tesla as strong as we possibly can and to let the world know it is toxic. A toxic brand that fueled him. That's when you start putting pressure on someone, when you control his money, you control him, said Mark, a protester who was not willing to share his full name out of the fear for his safety.
They said we're here at the movement, and the movement is growing because Elon Musk is an unelected person in D.C.
That's right. Stop right there. Unelected. What is he doing making so many debuts in the White House, sitting next to the president of the United States? Who gave him his security clearance?
Well, I tell you what, they calling him the second president. Well, no, they're calling him the president of these United States.
You know, I mean, when we look at what's going on in the world, and you find out that he's up there doing what calling shot, like he's the big ball of the shot caller.
It says he doesn't have an office and he doesn't have an email, so you can't go there to voice your issues and concerns. So they said they had to show up at the business, and one of the places the business is Tesla. And I'm telling you, these protests are not just people standing out; they are really moving and shaking. Tesla has gone down in the stock market.
That's right.
Like I don't know what.
And the cars are not that good looking either. That car, I seen a movie, and I forgot the name of it, where all those electronic cars by Tesla was wrecking each other with no drivers in it.
Wow. Listen to the numbers. It says the push against the electric car company appears to have had real consequences. The company's stock closed at $248.71 on Friday compared to its 52-week high of $488.54 in December, though it's still valued higher than it was for much of 2024. It says Musk spoke at a Tesla all-hands meeting this week and told his employees there are better days ahead. Hang on to your stock, he urged.
Hang on to your stock.
Hang on in there.
Do you think that the stock market is going to be worth anything?
I tell you, once these folk get to you, it's a done deal. Let me say something about people that protest. I have some folk in particular that I'm talking about. When they go out and protest, you know it. They come to steal, kill, and destroy.
That's right.
They are out for blood.
That's right.
They have a problem with it, Mr. E, because they feel as though, like you said, he's out of place. He's in the place of the president. Making moves and calling shots.
And not only in the president's in place of the president, but he's up there with J.D. Vance, the vice president, like they don't have a word to say.
Well, they have this thing called Doge.
Yeah.
And I tell you what, people are tired of Doge. They're tired of Elon Musk as well. And they're going to show Tesla who's the boss.
That's right. That's right. And how did they get all together? How did he get there anyway? What is his title in the White House?
Oh wow. He's well. Now that's a good question because
What
they
is his
said he
title?
wasn't the head of Doge, but
Right.
he's calling the shots. And what we're talking about as far as the shots, wanting to tear down a lot of departments,
That's
a
right.
lot of
Federal government things. Yeah.
federal government programs and
That's
things
right.
like that. And they are upset because they feel as though he's doing for Social Security and Medicaid.
Elon Musk is trying to do something good, I believe. Somebody said saving the government, cutting down the waste, and it's something good, he said.
Well, I tell you what, folk are tired of it because you know what, you can't come after people their investment. Social Security is an investment. There's money people have put in throughout the years,
That's
Mr.
right.
E. Years and years and years to when they retire, they're saying, hey, give me my do-re-mi at a certain age.
And don't mess
And
with
that's
it.
the contract.
That's right.
That's the way
right.
it's been.
That's right.
So don't come after that. Don't come after Medicaid. The Department of Education, they trying to do a number. There was an article about 10 schools, I think in Hampton Roads area,
Yeah.
somebody's trying to pull down,
That's
take
right.
down and all that kind of stuff. Trying to change and rearrange things that have been. Nothing wrong with cleaning up. They say a lot of people are saying, don't clean up the waste, but for goodness sake, don't take money out of the veterans' mouths
That's
and
right.
their children and just destroy industries that have been in place for a minute.
And those folks who have been on there for a minute, Miss Hinton, on Medicaid, Medicare, and the schools have been funded by that. Those folks who lean on federal government to do what they do, and now you're cutting back jobs up there, and folks who trying to earn an honest living, get a honest pay. Now you turn around getting rid of them. Some of our schools cannot be run on by as standalones. When you get these children that has parents that has no food in their house, and these children are going to school to eating free lunch. Well, you gotta go and get some money together so that your child won't starve all day long.
So Doge, the acronym for must is it's Department of Government Efficiency. Department of Government Efficiency. If you all haven't heard of it, that's what Doge is, and it's he's there to take, like we just said, and balance the budget. So
Yeah.
we are in debt, and they need to come there slicing and dicing.
That's right.
Slicing and dicing everything in the world, including, some people are saying, including Social Security and
That's
Medicaid.
right. Everything that you got in front of you, they slicing and dicing. Medicaid, Medicare, cutting out your Social Security tax, Social Security, taking away from the veterans. The veterans get what they call a GI Bill. Now they trying to shut all that down, also that the veterans don't get that GI or the bill. You're gonna get a bill, all right, if they shut it all down. It won't housing. For example, your GI Bill is designed to help you go to school, help you get a funding on your house or loans, and then you turn around and you cut all of that. Well, something ain't right in the area.
Well, Mr. E, the courts have actually are reversing a lot of the things that they try to implement, a lot of things they're trying to do. The court said, not so fast.
Yeah.
Not so fast. So Doge is going to have to take its time because, you can come in there slicing and dicing if you want to, but you got to go by the law, and you just cannot take and pull programs underneath folk that they're meant to have.
I want to say good morning to Miss Crystal Hinton, Miss Sheila Robbins. Thank you so much for tuning in to the most talked about radio show in the whole wide world. That's FYI Radio Show.
So, Mr. E, they are protesting all over the place, and even here in Hampton Roads. I mean, the bodyguards had to be out there for somebody that we know, Governor.
Governor, that's right. I witnessed it for myself.
Yes.
That they are protesting all over. Now, they even got the governor out there.
Governor Youngkins was jumped at a church. at a church in Richmond. And I mean, these folk are out there, Mr. E. I wouldn't even want to be, around all this because these folks are not playing. He was in Richmond, Virginia, at a church. Mr. E gonna pull that information up, and it is just a little scary. But they feel as though he is one with this stuff that's going on with Doge, Elon Musk, and they're kind of like, saying, are you going to pull from under us in Virginia the things that are meant for us to have? Or what are you going to be sticking with them who are with Doge, who's taken away benefits and veterans benefits and Social Security? Are you going to do that too? So it was a big protest in Richmond, Virginia. And I mean, those people they had to actually escort him out of there and get him in his car. And because they weren't playing out there. So it's a lot of protests going on. Mr. E saw a protest
this weekend.
This weekend, I saw one near the scope and didn't have anything to do with the scope, but close to it, there was in the downtown area, there was a protest as well. So people are getting out there, they're coming together, and they are not playing. They do not want rights taken away. They want to make sure that they can keep the things that they've invested in.
Ms. Hinton, and that's what's happening. The protest about the governor, Glenn Youngkin's, outside of Patrick Henry Mall. Folks was not pleased with Governor Youngkin's.
Well, this is his last, go around, isn't it? We're going to be voting for a new governor soon.
That's right, real soon.
And so, but as he goes out, people are not pleased with the atmosphere in Washington, D.C., and they figure that he, is kind of like pulling with the powers that be.
They said Youngkin's dodged anti-Doja protests outside Virginia church. Mm-hmm. Patrick Henry delivered the revolutionary rally cry heard around the world. Give me liberty or give me death.
That's what they were saying.
Protesters singing their own rally cry on Sunday at the various sites where their founder fathers urged Virginia colonists to join American Revolution 250 years ago. After delivering the remarks, the annual enticement of Henry's icon speech, Governor Glenn Youngkin's, Republican representative Virginia, was met by a loud boo, shame, chanting, and protesters crying were exiting the St. John's Church in Richmond. Protesters held up signs and like "Deport Musk" and Yonkers Trumpkins, as the governor was escorted through the radical crowd by enforcement.
I tell you what, you all check out the internet, Google it, look at the story, look at the protest that's going on all over the country, because people are really upset, not only because of programs and stuff that have been stopped, or people are trying to, they say the powers that be, Doge, and them are trying to take people's rights away from them. But also, Mr. E, there are some things that are happening with immigration and deportation that people are really up in arms about.
That's right, Ms. Hinton. IRS preparing to help find immigration targeting for deportation.
Yes.
It's a funny thing. They said the tax agency is nearing an agreement to verify whether ICE officials have the right address for people that are trying to deport.
Oh my goodness. I tell you what, just recently, there were some folk that were deported, and
isn't that something?
I'm sorry to disrupt you. Go ahead, because I'm at Paul, and I'm just in shock, Mr. E.
I said to myself, I thought it hit the TV last night when I was watching the news, when I found out that the DMV, the Internal Revenue, is preparing to help find immigrants. Ooh. They don't have nothing else to do. IRS don't have nothing, and making sure that they have the right addresses. You know how they do it, because one, they filing taxes.
Again, the IRS prepares to help find immigrants targeted for deportation. This is according to the New York Times.
That's right. That's right.
All Google it. So it says they're preparing to help Homeland Security officials locate immigrants they are trying to deport. But what's so spooky, Mr. E, was the incident wherein there were so many that were deported.
That's right.
Without their, coming before the courts, their rights, they weren't able to speak and defend themselves.
That's
they were
right.
just taken on an airplane over, I think, in Venezuela.
That's right. And some of them was legal too.
And it's just, and the courts, you won't Google the story. We're not just talking. The courts put a stop to it and, put out the word, listen, you can't do this. This is against the law. But those people are still over there, Mr. E.
That's right.
Some
still
of them have not been able to
yeah.
get to their family. I think one or two have lawyers that are speaking out. And so far, we don't know what's going to happen with that.
They said many undocumented immigrants filed tax return with the IRS, giving the agency information about where they live, their families, their employers, and their earnings. The IRS has long encouraged undocumented immigrants to pay their taxes, giving people without Social Security numbers a separate 9-digit code called an individual taxpayer identification number to file their return.
Absolutely. This is a story we have to follow because, like I said, there are people over there, and we don't know what they are. They have not come before the courts.
That's right.
And so hopefully, people are not just going to be scooped. You're not just going to be scooped, profiled, and scooped up and end up somewhere, who knows where. We're hoping that it's a system that can, be implemented where people can say, hey, I'm here because of this, and that. Here is my card, my credentials, and not just scooping folk out and just taking them who knows where they are.
That's right. Don't nobody know where they are. And that's like they did the children one time before. They got them at the border, separated them from their parents, and put them in cages like wild animals.
Absolutely. Look, the USA Today is reporting that Trump administration scrambles to defend group text leak as investigations begin. We told y'all there's more drama going on, more stories. It says President Donald Trump expressed confidence in his national security team Tuesday, while top Republicans and Democrats in Congress demanded answers after an explosive report revealed top Trump administration officials discussing sensitive information about U.S. war plans in Signal group chat with a journalist present.
That's right. Anybody. And they said that Signal group chat is a place where the Russians can tap into.
Or anybody, if you're out here on Zoom or whatever you're on, you may be on. They're trying to prevent people from being on these apps and things that exposes information to the public.
And people up in high places in Congress are on these apps, texting one another, and that's how so many things leak out. That's how so many people businesses are being leaked because this thing called IG is doing its job, and we are so busy texting everybody in live chats what we're doing and how we're doing. Sometimes you can't go on these live chat sites.
Well, you're not supposed to do that if you're in the government, especially handling secret service information and things like that.
Well, when you look at Trump, he's on Instagram, he's on TikTok, you name all these social media platforms, he's on those and texting.
I tell you what, it says the stunning security breach was revealed by the Atlantic's editor-in-chief Jeffrey Goldberg in a first-hand account detailing how Trump's national security advisor Mike Waltz mistakenly invited him into a chat on the app Signal. The app Signal, that's the name of it, that included 18 administration officials, including Vice President J.D. Vance, Defense Secretary Pete Hegseth, Secretary of State Marco Rubio, CIA Director John Ratcliffe, and Director of National Intelligence Tulsi Gabbard. I tell you what, if you saw it yesterday, Mr. E, it was a showdown.
That's right.
And folk want answers. But there are people that are just kind of like want to scoot it away, and others are saying, "Wait a minute, give an account," because I'm telling you, you're talking about things that don't need to be in the ears of certain folk. You need to make sure that stuff is secure.
Well, Miss Santander, you can't say that this is not false. This is false news. This is what was that word Donald Trump used? This is what is that
Fake
word?
news.
Fake news.
It's not fake.
This is not fake news. This is the real McCoy, because USA Today would not put it out there.
Well,
Neither would the New York Times.
hopefully. Anyway, unaware the reporter was in the chat, the Trump officials plotted U.S. airstrikes on an Iran-backed Houthi sites in Yemen that took place March 15. The conversation culminated with Hezbollah hours before the airstrike, sharing secret plans, including targets and attack sequences in the chat.
Too much business going on.
Republicans and Democrats had said that the signal leaked by federal officials using the publicly available encrypted messaging app raises alarming questions, potentially mishandling of national security information, which federal law dictates should only be shared through the government's own approved secure platform.
That's right. That's right. It's supposed to be secure. It's supposed to be amongst folks who has the clearance. Now, let's go back to where we started from the beginning of this show. Elon Musk, where did he get his clearance from? How can he be around all this stuff that's going on in the White House?
He got it from the president of the United States.
See, but the thing about it is, because he's putting it up in the air, and you got folks that have not been to the courts yet, have not been voted upon yet. Nobody gave the thumbs up on anything, but you got people that's right around that's enforcing it themselves.
Well, Mr. I want to get back to the story about the breach. I was wondering, as I looked at the Congress asking questions, why didn't they just say, "Oops, we made a mistake"?
That's right.
But it's not like that. It's I didn't do it, he didn't do it, she didn't do it, we didn't do it, they didn't do it. Well, yes, it is. Somebody did it. And so, but I'm saying, wouldn't it be easier? What do you all think? Somebody in the chat. Would it be easier to just say, "Oh man, we made a big old mistake"?
That's right.
Why would that be so hard not to do that?
They could make mistakes. They're human just like everybody, but they pass the buck. They pass it on this person, that person. That's what's happening in a lot of government things. A lot of people are doing today. Instead of they owning up to the making their mistakes, they pass it on everybody else. She did it, he did it, everybody did it, and nobody wants to be held accountable. That's the thing called somebody, anybody, everybody, and nobody. Somebody did it. Nobody knows anything about it. Everybody's gonna get punished about it, and anybody is gonna get caught up in it also.
Absolutely. Well, I tell you what, there's so much going on.
Innocent people.
You all keep checking out the news, the latest. You don't have to, indulge in it all the time, but you do need to be informed about some of the things that are going on in our world. I mean, some of this stuff they say is unprecedented. Some of these things you have never seen. Some of these things, it's like, oh my, why is this going on and why is it happening? At least stay informed for yourself and keep up what's happening in your community.
That's right. Well. That's right. One of the things you got to do, know your community, know what's going on in your neighborhood, know who's around. It blew my mind in my community one day. It blew my mind.
Oh, wow.
I said that's all I'm going to say.
You said you can't tell all, but I tell you what,
right.
Some of this stuff is blowing your mind. And so, Lord, have mercy on us. We have to, keep ourselves informed and try to, inform our children. And, like I said, look at your community, see what's going on, see what's happening right underneath your nose, and govern yourself.
Because people moving in, people moving out.
It's I'm telling you,
why it's not the color of the skin.
Right before your
eyes, your neighborhood. One day you got a full neighborhood. In my neighborhood, we have every house in our cul-de-sac full. Then I look around again, you got 1 and 2 houses empty. Where are they? And they just moved in. Where are these folks going?
I don't know.
So fast.
But I tell you what, we're going to keep this tea going on this Friday, actually, Fun Friday. And we are celebrating still Women's History Month. And so we want you all to join us. We have a great topic and a great tribute. So look, have a wonderful day. Enjoy this wonderful, wonderful sunshine. And good morning to our friends. Good morning, Sheila Robbins. And we'll see you on Fun Friday. Have a wonderful day.
For the past 30 minutes, you've been listening to FYI Radio Show with your host, Miss Yolanda the Lady Hinton. I'm Ed Everett, the co-host. If you'd like to be a special guest or sponsor or intern of FYI, all you have to do is give us a call at 757-714-7861, or you can email us at FYIRadiosHowLive@gmail.com. Don't forget to join us Monday, Wednesday, and Friday from 9:30 to 10 on WPCE 1400, WGPL 1350, and on After Dark on every Monday. Don't forget to join us. For more information, give us an email for FYIRadiosHowLive@gmail.com. Bye now.
Mr. E, we need 2 hours to talk about some of this stuff that's going on. Oh my goodness, there's so many pieces and so many moving parts. It's just like you don't know what to think and what to do. Sometimes you don't know what to believe because, like you were saying earlier, you don't know if it's fake or real, imitation, information, and you don't really, at times, you just don't know who to rely on for good news. So
that's right.
Sometimes you just have to let things play out in real time. Anyway, we want to give you all some upcoming shows.
That's right. Ms. Hinton, while we're talking about some shows, the immigration folks are coming on, but they cannot, they want to come on, but it has to be, they coming on, but it's got to be discreet. We can't show their faces. We can't tell their real names and anything of that nature because this thing about immigration is a hot commodity.
Absolutely. We just want to get the basic information. We're not trying to dig too deep because there are some things, like you said, can be said, some things that can't be said, some questions that have not been answered and information that has not been given, and things that you see, you see it, but you don't see it because they don't want you to see certain things. And so we're going to definitely, keep it, everything well balanced and, give as much information as we can on that immigration segment. That's coming up soon, immigration and deportation. Woo. Anyway, Women's History Month is still here. We'll do a few tributes on our Women's History Month segment on Fun Friday. Also, we continue with Women's History Month, and we are talking and celebrating with Dr. Tanya Pass. She's going to bring community information. Listen, FYI After Dark, we're going to do a face-off. We're going to get a few people that's going to come on, women and men, and just kind of like look at perspectives of how men think, how women think, what women do, what men do, and so forth and so on. Raw. Look, Young Women Achieving Success, that's Crystal Communities program, anti-bullying event. I'll be giving information. Right now, the event is going to be on April 30th for our youth. Pizza and a Dialogue for our youth. You'll get more information on the website, and we'll definitely get you some information here. Also, visit our sponsors, Bulvic Academy, BULVIC Academy, and Beard Gods, BEARDGODC. All right, so look, you can also be a special guest, intern, or sponsor with FYI Radio Show. Mr. E is going to give you that information.
If you'd like to be a special guest, intern, or sponsor of the most talked about radio show in the whole wide world, or if you want to be in our audience, that's right. All you have to do is email us, and we'll email you back and let you know via email what date that you can come on. Don't forget, if you'd like to be a sponsor, intern, or special guest, email us at FYIRadiosHowLive@gmail.com, or you can give us a call at 757-714-7861, or you can inbox us with Edward Everett Facebook page, Miss Yolanda Lady Hinton Facebook page, or FYI Facebook page.
Absolutely. Be sure to go and look at some of these things on not social media necessarily, but our news papers and magazines, articles, and things like that. Google some of the information that we've given you all so you can, be informed. And so we just want to say thank you all for being on with us. Thank you for your commitment to us and for the numbers. Thank you for actually following us and giving us more numbers. We encourage you to keep coming to our pages, to our show, and make sure you subscribe and tell others to subscribe.
That's right.
In the
Do
meantime, have a wonderful, wonderful day. We'll see you on Fun Friday.
Thank you so much for tuning in to the most talked about radio show in the whole wide world. That's FYI Radio Show with your host, Miss Yolanda Lady Hinton. I'm Ed Everett, the co-host. Don't forget to join us Monday, Wednesday, and Friday from 9:30 to 10 right here on all these stations and broadcasts. Okay? Thank you.
Two
Two up.